Yes, welcome to Keeping the Ball on the Ground. Why the fuck are you standing up? Sit down.
He's went against us.
Already?
Aye.
What?
See, I'm looking shite.
Aye, I just think you look terrible today, aye.
You look like a waiter.
Sometimes you look tremendous, but today...
Mob boss, innit?
What's happened?
I'm mob boss.
Take that jacket off so we can actually see what you're wearing.
I think it's alright, no? But I mean, that's what it used to... I mean, that's what it's training, that's what it used to be in Miami.
You look Wayne Mardo.
No, what did you say, Mickey Faye Rocky?
Mickey Faye Rocky, innit? But I mean, it's fucking... It's
What's the
Miami.
inspiration behind it?
Miami Vice.
Oh, Miami Vice.
I think it's this, he's been watching this all week. So I'll come dress a fucking sanitizer bottle.
It's freezing in here, innit?
Oh my days.
What, there's a polar bear shaking it in the
Simon, Valentine's Day.
What a day, mate.
Talk to me about your house. Looked unbelievable.
Aye, but it was a bad day, mate.
Was it?
Aye. There's a reason I've came in and I'm trying to bring you down today.
Is that?
Aye.
Well, she kept talking about him.
Mate, she baked my cake.
Wow. Oh, what a woman.
Unbelievable.
We're sitting
Give me
for dinner,
applause,
having exchange cards and all that. And then she goes, oh, by the way, wait, make sure you give Selena this tomorrow. I've baked my cake. So I'm feeling a wee bit insecure today.
Yeah, what film?
Bruce Brogtotter.
Boom, Dilda.
What about stockings? Still got the stockings on?
No, that one.
Did you not get a hole in them by playing footsie with him under the table?
Oh, yeah,
He used to
yeah,
clip his
yeah.
toenails, didn't he? Did that shirt used to be white by you?
Wait a minute.
Matches your teeth for. Kev, Kyle household, how did it go?
Do you know what, Si? We had she made us an afternoon tea. So
What?
just an
For
afternoon-
Valentine's Day?
Aye, she sat and put all the love hearts out and pinks and pink, I don't know what things, and there's just loads of cakes and sandwiches and sweets and fucking magic.
So was the jet too full?
Fat bastard's dream, so it was.
Mine does.
What did you go?
Did you just own the jet? Did the jet?
The jet's finished in here, no?
As you know.
No, he's took a liking to the other jet.
Wow.
2 jets.
Oh, so they moved in together, haven't they? And how we fly in
me and the
Livingston?
me and the jet's done. He called
Mine
me
does the
up.
same. She says to me she's dressed up. This is what she wore.
Oh!
See what I mean, mate?
Everyone loves him, mate.
Simon.
She came down with that. Listen to you laugh.
Slaney, you know where it goes.
Great man.
Quite right,
I don't want to do it beside each other.
Put them next to each
Let
other.
me do it, know what I mean? Here's a proposal just before we move on to whatever. The Old Firm next game, me and you will go live to the world, me against you, FIFA, Old Firm. There you go. There you go.
Right,
You up for it, Andrew?
Aye, I'm up for it, aye. By the way, what about your Valentine's?
Busy boy.
Cute, though.
Busy boy.
Busy boy. I had a few last night, in and out, different people's, no in and out houses obviously with COVID, but Zoom calls, different Zoom calls, you know what I mean?
Oh, were you?
I was busy, Simon, with the amount of ladies, yeah. Aye, so I was tired last night.
So are you looking for a new celebrity bird or
Aye. What do you think? Who do you think?
No, I know. I just feel as if you need a celebrity.
like Sonia Jackson or something for EastEnders?
Sonia would be unbelievable, innit?
Oh, Adrian.
Who?
Adrian.
Oh.
Faye Rocky.
Aye.
Do you know, mate, Rocky was my favourite film growing up and I always wanted a shy bird, because she was dead shy, wasn't she?
Aye.
This isn't a joke, but I'm saying because...
She worked in the pet shop, didn't she?
Aye, but with shy birds, mate, do you not notice that you feel unbelievable, don't you?
So that's your type, Shy?
Aye, and hate herself and all that.
Who's the brother, Polly?
Big boy, big bully, wasn't he?
Fucking shy girls, just like your service, didn't he?
Right, yeah, I need
So on
to
that.
say about, we're talking about Instagram and that. Walter Smith's on Instagram.
Is he?
Walter Smith's
Seen
on
that.
Instagram. He put a boohoo code up for Boohoo Men's last night.
20% up code water.
Did he?
The code balls out for McGregor. You going to add him?
Yeah, nah, mate, nah. If I need one-on-one goalie training, I'll give him a call. But
Do you know what?
I've met him a couple of times, aye.
What's he like?
Aura.
Legend, isn't he? Aye. He's got that aura about him.
You nervous?
He's scary though. I think he's a bit scary, even though you're just talking to him. And I've heard stories, but boys have told me stories in the past. He was intimidating.
Mate, Derek Ferguson said he was scary on Soonest.
Yeah, so he did.
Aye.
Aye. He said when Soonest was a manager, he was the assistant. He said
I could understand that though.
Yeah.
I don't even need to say much with you, Walter.
No.
I just need to look at you.
The
That's
desk.
what, when I was at Rangers, that's what Jig said. Jig said the difference between McCoy should walk in here, we'd all hear a chat and a laugh. Walter walks in here, we'd all fucking just sit down and shut up and wait until he spoke.
Mike Dean. He's became a legend after the
Right,
English
so
body.
whoever
Cult
sent,
hero, isn't he?
yeah, whoever sent him the death threats, wow, what a mistake.
What a stupid
Done it with the right guy, isn't he?
But Jack, I'm a wee bit nervous that he's Reggie Mills now.
No, Andrew.
No, but do you know how he's trying?
you've exposed him.
He's trying to keep that life a wee bit of a secret.
He deserves it, Andy, when people are calling him out, I think he's a bitch. He's no. You know what I
No,
mean?
you kidding on?
He's like the wee American
Far
guy
from
in
it.
Green
What
Street.
about the one that...
Remember that wee pathetic American guy in Green Street?
Was he American?
What was his name
Frodo,
again?
wasn't it? Frodo back. Frodo, wasn't it?
But
I'm in with the firm. What, I mean, like, no,
do you think there's any Scottish referees that maybe we don't even know about yet?
well, supposedly after we'd done all that, one of the Scottish referees who remained nameless because he doesn't want to be exposed well, said that one time Bobby Madden and Wally Collins started fighting.
No way.
They ended up getting off each other. Who would be a hard Scottish referee? Remember Rowbottom? Do you remember him? John Rowbottom.
Yeah, he's the guy, the Scottish
fake
poor
cleaner.
man, the fake cleaner. That's exactly who that was.
Who's the one that's like he's like the chief one on like Scottish education? He's massive. He used to be one of the big referees. No, it's no. Oh, what's his name again?
What, for Scottish referees?
Scottish ref.
Shug Dallas.
Hugh Dallas.
No, he's about 6'5". He did my B licence though. I can't remember his name.
Referee.
You know who I talked about? Paul?
Ian Brines.
Brines, aye.
What's fucking wild Scottish
He's
football?
massive.
He's wild, I know.
Yeah, don't, Kev.
He's hopeless.
Cut that out, mate.
Hopeless. Sent me off.
He's half his seed.
Sent me off my second ever game in Scotland.
Did he? What for?
I said I elbowed I don't know the boy's name, Potter for Inverness.
Potter for Inverness. I think they've ever had a Potter.
Right back, left back.
Raven.
Harry. No, is it David Proctor?
Proctor. But yeah, with David Proctor.
Aye.
Nicest guy in the world, man.
Fucking he came in, I didn't mean it, he came into the Peter next day and says, I stupidly jumped up for a header, accidentally headbutted Big Kev's elbow, and I still couldn't get the video, the opinion, the fucking the thing of the when you go to the penalties try and get it overturned, they still wouldn't overturn it even though the player said it was his fault. So that was Ian Brines, my memory of him.
Right.
Fucking hopeless.
I heard he's...
Have you heard he can go? Have you?
Well, listen.
The term come not my
What
door.
you're saying?
He's going to shove his cards
about what
out
I'm
with
saying here.
What's what you're saying?
I heard he's half his seed.
Careful what you're saying.
Oh, you're talking about scrapping. What about your man getting second prizes for Willie Gibson?
Aye, Wally Gibson fucking threw a unit.
Incredible how many messages I've had off the back of that, honestly. Right, so many people saying you shot it for Willie Gibson. And it's so many saying his cousin Willie Pearson's after you, I know, so it's been a fucking
Listen, that one
Shows that you shot it, you're
They're
calling
tough
Willie.
I played with Willie, some boy. What was he saying?
It's in the tunnel, wasn't it? I heard that shout.
Just the usual
Get you in the
shite
tunnel?
football.
Stop doing it fucking tunnel, you.
You're part of him, aren't you? Phone him.
Do you want to
Aye, phone him.
Right.
Andrew Halliday.
I've got Willie's number.
Oh,
that.
Do you want to go? We'll get it sorted live on air.
I get it.
Right, 2
Can I give
seconds.
him a bit?
We can just talk about that game while I get this number.
Aye.
What's the game like with foot fans?
What's it like with fans? No, it's it, mate.
Rubbish, isn't it?
Aye.
Gary Mackay
Can't
Stevens.
wait till fans come back.
I know, I'm
Genuinely.
torture, innit?
Gary Mackay Stevens is going to be Johnny Sunderland when he grows up, isn't he?
100%.
He is, 100%. Here's Willie, look, ringing.
He's mouthy, isn't he?
Oh, he's got a bit, huh? He can go, mate.
No.
Can he? I'll be not saying a word to him now. I'll not be saying a word to him.
Well, like Sandy Halliday, I'm just sitting in the tunnel here. Obviously, you've not turned up, so just give us a phone back and that's
Tell him I'm here.
Shite bag.
Slaney's after you now.
This guy, I like that, do you?
He's got a bit, innit?
Nah, to be fair.
There's your red
Jenny,
foot, there's your
To be fair, Wally will phone him later, man. They'll say it was just a joke.
I'm sorry, Willie. It was only a joke, kid on. No, I've played against him a few times. We end up having a chat after the game. It's the same shitey football. It's one of the worst shouts, isn't it?
Don't
It is
it?
one of the worst
The worst
shouts.
thing is-
See, to be fair, I've been guilty. I'm no passing the buck here. I've been guilty of it, but it's a bad shout, man.
The worst thing as well is you get taken off just after it, innit? So it's like...
Aye, so it's, but as if I got taken
You've asked to be fair.
You've asked to be asked.
Gaffer,
Please.
get us off, man. Like, he's
Please.
going to end up waiting for me outside after the game.
Brilliant, right.
Can I show Simon, isn't it?
What?
It's a cracking show so
It's a
far.
good start to the show,
It's
isn't it?
really enjoyable.
Half it will be cut out, but it's a good start to the show. Celtic we're going to start with.
Awesome.
Edward, last few weeks, Paul Slane.
Back to his very best, Simon. We're busy at the start of the season.
So we think he's playing for a move?
Some may say that, I wouldn't.
Right, what would you
I think
say?
it was just whatever was going on at the start of the season. I think finally Neil Lennon's found the right team to play, or the right formation maybe. Something along the lines, and that should have been done long ago. And when he plays like that, Celtic will win every game.
What was it that impressed about him so much? His touch?
His touch, his arrogance, Simon. Do you know what I mean? I just thought it was excellent.
Kev, can you see him getting a big move in the summer?
It's a hard one, Si, because he's got the ability to get a big move. People might look at this season and think, like, what happened to him? What is that? If we spend all this money on him, is this going to? If he takes the off or things don't go his way, is this what Odds and Edward we're going to get? But I don't know. I think he deserves a big move because I think he's got the ability to show other people in the world what he's all about. Because here in Scotland, we are deemed as if it's the Farmers League, the usual shit. When really he could be playing down the Premiership with those types of performances and people will be fucking in awe at the level of performance, because some of the touches he's got, see, like to roll the defender in the 6-yard box and eventually the composure to put it in the keeper, past the keeper, different class. And I just think that he plays well and Celtic play well, Si, and it's the same thing with all strikers. See, if you don't get the service or don't get the ammunition you need, you're only as good as the service provided you're a striker. And I think Celtic's picked up in the last few weeks, so that's helped him. But it'd be sad for Scottish football to see him go. It'd be a huge blow for Celtic if he was to go, because the way I'm looking at Celtic...
Goal scorer, isn't he? You think he could go and play for a top 6 team in England?
Aye. I think he could, aye. I think he could...
I don't know. I watched Jamie Vardy mate 34 and Edward's a good bit behind in terms of how he works, and
I think he could go somewhere to then go there.
Yeah.
Like similar to what Dembele done, going to Lyon, obviously now at Atletico Madrid. But I agree with you. He's
top goal scorer.
He's a big reason why Celtic have dominated over the last obviously number of years, but especially him in the last couple. You're talking about the 3-4 best players in the league. He's definitely one of them, and it's a wee bit surprising he's top goal scorer in the league, though, isn't it? Because we've been talking about all season how he's been off it, and
is he top goal scorer now?
Top goal scorer in the league.
6 games in a row he scored or something.
I think maybe even more, but he's obviously a top player. I would be. You're saying Jamie Vardy. I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester come in from.
Yeah, I think that's.
Do you think?
But he doesn't. For me, in a one up front, he doesn't play ahead of Jamie Vardy.
No.
I know, but Jamie Vardy, what, 33, 34?
34,
so maybe it's just a case of him being the next.
Do you think,
Jamie
Simon, I'll ask you this, because obviously, see the way he plays up in Scotland, it looks like he's maybe no trying effort-wise. Do you think if he went somewhere else and had to adapt, he'd be a bit more like energetic and stuff like that? Do you think that's, or do you think the way he is now in Scotland, that's the way he's going to be? Or do you think, like,
if he's going to be like that down south, if he's going to be like that down south, mate, you'll not be.
Do you think Scottish football's maybe not saying too easy for him, because Scottish football isn't easy, but he seems to have adapted to Scottish football quite comfortably and can kind of raise things as and when he needs. Do you think if he was asked to have this level every week, do you think?
I think he has got that lax play style. So I think, see if you're not playing well, sometimes it's easy to say these players aren't working hard. But I agree with Si in the fact that the intensity down there's another level.
Do you think he could play with, like, you're talking about Leicester, I think he could play with a Vardy, behind Vardy, just be that link-up player guy, or do you think he has to be
that's Maddison's role, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think if it's if you're going to go there, he's battling for the spot.
He has to be the number 9.
I think he's more than good enough to go down there. Definitely more than good enough. But I think it's like everyone, if they're going to go down and compete at a higher level, higher competition, then they'll need to improve. And I think he will. He's still young.
I agree. I think he's definitely capable. Just watch Harry Kane. Yeah, and be 3-0 mate, he's sprinting from full back to centre back. That's what top players do.
My granny runs faster than Harry Kane though. He's so slow and fat.
But I don't think I've not appreciated how good Harry Kane is till maybe the last year or so.
Nah, he's brilliant.
He's unbelievable.
I think every season he scores 30 goals.
Cannot watch him, man.
That's just a one-off. He'll know it again next year, and he keeps.
But it's his all-round play. Yep.
See
when he drops deep and he links up and he gets turned, he'll play in Son.
Look at that switch he's got this year for Son.
Ridiculous.
That's what I mean. That's where Edward needs to get that wee bit, raise his game that bit, and be a top player.
He definitely can.
No, he definitely can.
So do you think he will be away?
Aye,
100%.
I think there'll definitely be suitors there. Celtic, one of Celtic's probably main objectives going into the summer will be to keep him, but it's going to be hard because with how well he's done, and
I don't think
it could be a big fee. So
I don't think he's got long left in the contract, has he?
I'm not too
sure. He's
sure.
only got another year or so. So in terms of keeping a hold of him, you know, if somebody comes in and says there's maybe 15, 20 million quid or whatever the market value is for him at that point, it's very hard to keep him, for Celtic to say no to that money, and secondly to keep him happy at the club. What you're going to offer him, because he's done the last 3, 4, 5 seasons what Celtic can only offer him again, and that's, you need a change because he's become stale.
Can I yet replace him, Paul? Or somebody has in? No.
Similar to my granny again, too fat and slow. No, I don't think so. I think
Do you think he's as horny as your granny, though?
no chance.
No.
The way she goes about that living room is
Blows
unbelievable. Oh, right, Kevin.
Is that what you said?
No, goes about
Oh,
Kevin.
geez, oh.
No, I think Ajay might be actually alright. Simon is a goal scorer, but has to lose a bit of timber before he's classed him as that. I think Celtic need to look at. I'm looking at the boy Shankland, Simon.
What, you take Shanklin, would you?
Aye, absolutely. I think he's
Right.
excellent. Starting for Scotland. There you go.
Right?
Aye.
Over who? Dykes?
No.
What, go to it?
Aye. And, can I ask you a point here?
Can I ask you a point?
Andy, just to go off subject for a few seconds. Derek said that an unbelievable, not unbelievable, but I don't know if it's true or no. The Celtic went in a good run, right? Is it they're doing this because they're not to play for? Would you agree with that?
Nah.
No.
Nah.
You agreed with him? What are you saying no for?
I know.
Celtic are never going to be in that slump the full season.
No.
They've got too good of players and too much quality to end up turning around. But I still think, it's still probably too early to say they've completely turned a corner. But undoubtedly the last 4 performances have been much better. The Motherwell game, albeit they won 2-1, they were very good for 60, 70 minutes. St Mirren, they were excellent. And the weekend, they were all good as well. So,
But
They've improved off the ball. They're much better off the ball. They're not conceding the chances. And
I don't believe as if you're at Rangers and Celtic as well, you've never got something to play for. Because
You need to win every
players
game,
are
don't
playing
you?
for the future. Like players are playing for a bit of personal pride as well. So, I don't.
I think if you're in the Celtic squad and now you're looking at what's happened, and obviously you're going to lose the league to Rangers, and there's some players in that team aging, there's some came in loan, and there's some people that are going to have to get back to clubs. So if you don't put in performances now to the end of the season, the club's going to have to invest somewhere anyway, because what's there now isn't going to be good enough to take them forward next year and compete with Rangers. So they're going to have to invest. So by that thought of investing, the players that are there now are actually playing for me, like, their futures, but they're playing to be part of what's going to happen next season, because I think Celtic need to go into the market next year and sign at least 4 or 5 quality players.
in what positions?
Going to need a striker, because if they lose Edward, Griffiths has no been, like, Griffiths for me is brilliant, but he's not somebody you can rely on every week at the minute, because he's in the team and out of the team. Maybe that's down to fitness or lack of game time, whatever it may be, that might come.
In and out like his man.
Aye. Big Shane Duffy at the back's been poor. Aya wants to get away. Julian's been injured. Left back, Greg Taylor's come in.
he's been excellent, by the way. Have you shouted?
Aye, Greg Taylor's come back
Greg Taylor's
in.
been brilliant.
Scott Brown can't go on forever. Ayeti's come in at £5 million, not exactly hit the ground running. Obviously they've got Jamesy Forrest to come back, so Slaney, that'll change absolutely everything.
Absolutely.
But I think there's opportunities there, side where players are playing for positions and stuff, and they've got to put in, keep things fresh in mind, because the way it looks now, that nothing's changing.
But like I said before, about like James Forrest comes back, but where does he play in a diamond?
Centre half.
Why?
Duffy out, Forrest in.
What, just go and play, or
Yeah, man. Good start.
Head and
Just
tackle.
take players on.
Take people on.
1v1 at the back. I missed out.
Could be a goal for it there though.
He's best player in Scotland.
Right, ready? The club have made a statement yesterday, so I'm just going to read it to you, alright? Not make any hasty decisions that we might regret, and the big decisions will be made calmly and rationally. Is that the right approach to take when a likely rebuild is on the cards?
You're looking at me, but I think Slaney's got to take this one.
Right, come on then, what's your
Yeah,
thoughts?
Slaney.
What's that saying to Celtic fans, Paul Slane?
You're not making any.
Kev, what's it saying to Celtic fans while he reads it? Andy, read him
It
that.
just basically means that they're not going to, because Peter Law's going to be leaving at the end of the season and the new CEO's coming in.
He's trying to sign
There's that transition that's going to have to happen. So you either put that decision on Peter Law, who's not going to be there for the future of that decision, or you leave the decision to the new CEO who will be there to deal with that decision. So for me, there's no point in making an irrational decision, because it might be wrong. They've got to just take their time, but they can't take too much time, Simon, because how many games are left this season? About 10, 11 games or something?
Something like that.
Then you've got the summer holidays. You've got to try and be prepared, like Rangers were at the beginning of this season, where they did all their business early. They got players up to speed and were able to start the season with the ground running. Whereas if Celtic end up making the decision too late, they might end up finding themselves in the same position again.
Who's that player they're trying to get again?
Well, he's wanting the two
Johnny
boys.
Wilkinson?
He's trying to Gavin Hastings, centre half for Celtic.
Gary Logan's husband, wasn't it?
Why him though? They've got Forrest. Right.
I know, I still went Forrest to rugby, didn't he?
Does that tell you that Lenny will be there next year or not, Paul?
I don't think he will be, Simon. as I've said, I've heard strong rumours. You could actually change the word rumours to facts.
Right?
Sean Maloney will be the Celtic manager.
No, you won't.
Well, he said it's fact.
Well, wait.
Is it fact?
Yeah.
No.
No, I think that there is. It's starting to build a bit of momentum, though.
Is it?
Aye.
I did see someone on the internet after you mentioned
But I
it.
would see.
What's the Miley Cyrus fan? Martinez?
Yeah, Martinez.
That's aye.
But
Jason
Martinez going
Derulo.
to be his assistant, isn't he?
Jason
No,
Derulo.
Graham Potter's going to be his
No, it's
assistant.
no, it's Jason Derulo, isn't
We're
it?
going to get Graham Potter.
No, Jason Derulo. No, Jason Derulo.
Oh, Derulo's going to be the
He's the
assistant.
first team coach, isn't he? No, but regarding see, this is actually got to be serious for once. With Celtic, and I know you don't like. I know you've said it in the past. You don't like talking about who's going to be the manager when there's a manager
Right,
ready in.
please.
Listen, who's out there you think could take it? I'm not saying Lennon's going to leave, but I'm saying who you think is a good fit to take the job. This goes to all three panellists.
Pedro.
Would you?
Senior.
Andrew, what about you? Who do you think's out there? I'm not saying Lennon's going to leave. I know you're big pals with Lennon.
It's not my job to say who'll replace him.
No.
Off the back of the statement, what I will say is it's probably been a long time coming before the Celtic board actually came out and told the Celtic fans what's happening, because there was that review start of December, going on to obviously the start of January for a couple of 2-3 week period. Results sort of stayed the same, and I think Celtic fans were a bit uneasy and wanted some sort of communication to appease them. Whether that did or no, I'm not sure. But we knew there was going to be some sort of rebuilding job, where it was on the pitch, off the pitch, all through. I do think it's good that we've obviously started making decisions now, and I don't disagree that they said obviously they don't want to get rushed into making any hasty decisions, whether that's what Paul says, that they're trying to look for the right men in different departments for the right job. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if that statement appeased the Celtic fans or not.
Kev, what do you think of this director of football?
I don't like directors of football.
Why not?
I just always think that when you're the manager of a team, this is just from my experience, any manager of a team, he's the one that's made the decisions whether you get a new contract, you sign this player, that player. The fact that there's a director who then goes and does all that and then comes to managers and says, right, we've got this guy, what do you think? I'm not really.
Gerrard's got one.
I know, but that's fine.
I think every team now, Kev, though,
I don't see the role, just a waste of a fucking job. Director of football. So who's Gerrard's one?
Ross Wilson.
Ross Wilson.
Right, so he goes to him for, is he the recruitment guy?
I think it's basically a director of football, basically the same as the head of
There's
recruitment.
obviously directors of football and then there's recruitments. So if it's a specialist person who's designed to go and get players, I'm all for that, because a manager can't be going watching games all the time, looking at. But if it's a director of football who is making decisions between the manager, then I sometimes don't like that. If it's a recruitment thing, then I think Celtic need to look at that, because I don't think the recruitment in the past season has been great.
I think what a director of football will give you is that stuff like this probably won't happen again, where Celtic have actually got a long-term structure, a long-term plan, and it's not a rebuilding job. So whether they do have a poor season, players come and go.
But they've obviously got one, and they're going to have to do this. So what's he been
obviously they
doing
want
in
to
this
get
role?
this director of football. What was his name?
But the guy from the old Bournemouth guy that said in the paper has been interviewed as well.
I think
But I
it's
suppose if Sean Maloney gets it, he's wanting Danny McGrain as his director.
Danny McGrain, aye, and rightly so. But here, do you know what I heard, by the way, that Brighton, and I think a lot of Premier League clubs do it, and you might actually be able to agree with me here or no, I've heard that clubs now go based on stats, right?
Brentford did, mate.
Brentford's a famous
So
one.
what is the actual story here? Is it, so even if somebody everybody's saying he's brilliant and get player of the year and all that, but if he didn't meet their criteria or whatever it is, they wouldn't sign him?
Yeah, that's it.
They look a lot at like XG and
So I think it's like
expected goals, expected assists, how many chances they've created, appearances. I think a lot of clubs are big on how many games players have played though, experience wise. And I think another thing with Brentford is they don't sign players under 26.
6, yeah, because they can't resell them.
Because they know as a club that they want to have sell-on assets. See, to be honest, it's worked.
So am I right or wrong in saying this, Andy? So if they're looking for a defensive midfielder, you go to the manager and say, what do you want for a defensive midfielder? He said, I want somebody that makes tackles and plays the ball. They'll then go to a database and see who makes the most tackles and who plays the most successful 5-10 yard passes.
Do you agree with that?
Well, listen, see if it works for you.
It's been successful for them,
it's
isn't
worked for them.
And Brighton supposedly do it as well, I've heard.
Dundee United have got a guy that they use. I read an article the other week there.
I think I've heard something like that.
And they've got a wee, I think it might be like a boy in the Far East or India or something like that, and basically some kind of computer whiz kid, young guy, 17, 18, and basically
Ian Carter on it.
does all these stats things, and then he reports back to the D-Night and said, this guy fits your criteria, and then I think then somebody goes and watches him. But for me,
was there no something to do with like Football Manager or something as well? See, Jamie Murphy's favourite game. He was Jamie Murphy's favourite game, Football Manager. I think the boy was something to do with that or something.
He wasn't running for the job at Murphy.
That
guy beat him.
You know, there was a wee guy on Twitter, right? It was when Brendan Rodgers was the Celtic manager. The wee guy was writing on Twitter how he would go about beating Celtic in certain games, how they set up in that. And somebody at Celtic seen it and showed Rodgers it, and he brought him in and gave him a job.
Mate, he's doing it at Leicester.
Doing it at Leicester, well, no.
No way.
Swear to God, aye. Must have been good, but the boy, if he's... Wow.
But that was at you when you emailed him as well. Mind when
how come he offer you a job?
Fuck, I was trying to wind him up,
man. Oh, he was going to give you your old job back, wasn't he?
Aye, please, ease it behind. He's had enough of you.
Right, Celtic play Aberdeen on Wednesday. Aberdeen have not scored a goal in their last 5 games. Aberdeen fans are very much intrigued into the show and their opinions on it. Is time running out for them?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. This season's I know we can't keep making excuses this season, but you're just seeing it everywhere. Teams are just not the same. And I think what he's done at that club, if he wants to go down, that's fine. But I think what he's done at Aberdeen, he at least deserves a season, next season, to have a go at it again. And then if it's still the same, then maybe it comes to the decision to move on.
But see, when you say that, can that same argument not be made for Neil Lennon?
I still think, when you're
talking... One bad season...
But what I would say is you're talking about Derek McInnes, he's been there for 9 years, and you can't say he's no progressed Aberdeen. Neil Lennon, listen, I've told you 100 times, like, I'm not going to sit here and say Neil Lennon shouldn't have been in the job, but I do think it's a different situation. Celtic won 9 trophies in a row, 9 leagues in a row, so I don't change my stance.
So Derek McInnes took them from there to there.
I don't change my stance for what I said last week because they drop points again. I do think that the very least Derek McInnes should get us to the end of the season.
I think the difficulty with the Aberdeen situation that there's a really good argument for both sides. So there's a good argument for the fans due to results and performances, but there's also a really good argument from Derek McInnes' side is that, wait a minute, what have I done in 9 years? We always keep saying they finished second or third, and obviously some Aberdeen statistic guy said that that's not the case. We finished whatever behind us.
They finished 4th last year.
So there's an argument for both, but for me, I said it last week, better the devil you know, or whatever that fucking stupid saying is. let Aberdeen get their way, Aberdeen fans get their way and see McInnes at the door and see what they bring in and see how things go, and then down the line you better turn around and say, was that a good decision that we got rid of Derek McInnes? It's alright keeping the fans happy, but it's the long term of the club that really the board and the committee and whatever it is, the chairman, that's what they matter most about. And for me, Aberdeen, I think Derek McInnes, has he become stale? No, because I don't think that's the case. I think what's happened is he's having to sell good players because Slaney summed up at the beginning there, this year's been different. This year Aberdeen's probably one of the biggest clubs in the Scottish League that's suffered the most financially. So they've had to sell Cosgrove, they've had to sell the boy at the back, McKenna.
Right.
They've got rid of Wright. So they're selling good players. You say you're good players, you can't compete with the rest. Yeah. That's just facts.
And it must be so hard to be a manager.
Especially
so hard to be
especially at 18s when you lose your best player and need to go, with no money, you need to go and try and get somebody to a similar standard.
They're not out there.
No.
They're not out there.
Fans always sympathise when it's other people's clubs and other people's managers as well. Look at Klopp. Liverpool fans, some Liverpool fans want Klopp out.
No, it's crazy.
He's won their first Premier League title a year ago.
Champions League.
Because people say as well, I've had it on Twitter and Instagram, McInnes has brought in 3 players now, but there's 3 completely different players types than Wright and Hedges. So the whole game plan this season, get the ball into Wright and Hedges in the pockets. Now you can't play like that because you've not got players to do
and
that.
I've absolutely no doubt it's not with the budget that he wanted, and it's no with it's probably not on the same salary that the 3 previous strikers were on. So it's like I said last week, I do sympathise for him. It's easy. We're talking about rebuilding jobs. He's basically got a rebuilding job every year.
Yeah.
And
anybody that comes in there, they're not going to be saying, right, you're the new manager of Aberdeen, here's 2 or 3 million quid to spend and here's 500 grand a year in wages. That's just not going to happen. So who's going to come in and do a better job? They might get a wee fucking jolt at them for a couple of games, but Derek McInnes might turn them around in a couple of games.
They're on a bad run though, aren't they?
Oh, they're on a bad run.
That's what we mean though. We're saying that. We're not justifying the results or performances. You go 5 goals with a goal. Like, it's hard to defend it, but just saying that managers do make a hard time.
5 games to go, but no strikers.
I know, no striker. And I actually watched the highlights last week.
They've signed the strikers now, Hornby, Canberra and Hendry for
Watching the highlights as well, wasn't it? It didn't look like a great game.
What, that game at the weekend?
Aye.
The wind was horrendous.
Aye.
But Dell's hair never moved once.
No, perfect, mate.
Shockwaves,
Honestly,
consistent with that.
shockwaves. It's got to be shockwaves, mate. There's nothing else that we told it.
No.
It's consistent with that. Good on him.
Dax Wax.
Could a result at Celtic Park potential turning point for Aberdeen? Can you see them getting any in, Kev?
No, for the reasons of Aberdeen. They're not going to score because they're struggling to score, and Celtic's turned the corner a wee bit, and I think that it could be a big result actually. Wednesday, is it Wednesday night?
Yeah.
I think it could be. I think Celtic could get a few goals there.
Are you right?
I genuinely think it could be a 3-4 job if Celtic go about their business properly. Just depends on what teams are being put out. But there's one thing for sure: Derek McInnes will get his players trying. And that's all you can do. If it doesn't work out for you, it's I don't know. They need to start getting something because Hibs are into third now and they're pulling away in third. They're 4 points clear in third. Both teams played the same games. Hibs, if Aberdeen lose on Wednesday and Hibs are to go on, that's 7 points. You're going to fancy Hibs to finish third, which would be incredible. So it's just going to hit. I don't know. I just think that Celtic will maybe knock 3 or 4 past Aberdeen on Wednesday.
You go with that, Paul?
Aye. But they will turn it around, Aberdeen.
I think that, see, when you look at Aberdeen, I always think a manager should go when the players on the play. I never watch Aberdeen and think, right, they're not playing for McInnes.
No, they're always
definitely
playing
not.
well. They're always trying.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll turn it
Again, I agree. I don't fancy me to take something off Celtic.
Right, Rangers. Ryan Jack. Proud of him.
Aye, what a finish.
Has he got it in his locker?
I wouldn't say he's got that in his locker because he doesn't really shoot outside the box, and if he does, he's always made like a
Slew,
a finesse. But what a finish! What a finish, to be fair. And it was a game where, listen, I thought Rangers were very good at the possession. I know that's not what you should associate Rangers against Kilmarnock with at home, but again, 90 minutes didn't really look like conceding. They weren't great. Never created many chances, and the only real moment of magic in the game was that, and it was a hell of a strike, to be fair.
I want to ask you actually as well, Kimberry, what's he like? Do you think it'd be a good signing for Aberdeen?
Aye, no, honestly, I don't mean that's in any disrespect, but I was really shocked with Flo in training because, you know, when you were signing a striker at that point, it was for somebody to come in and to be a backup to Alfredo. And not even that, when Alfredo didn't play 9 times out of 10, Jermaine Defoe was going to play.
Yeah.
So we always thought he was going to come in and be a third choice striker. But he gave us problems when he did play for Hibs. And see, when he came in, he was
Is he good?
He was very good in training.
Was he?
He was. I was impressed with him.
But technically,
good feet for a big man.
Yeah.
Well-run runner. And when he played, he actually done well. And it got to the point where I was pretty confident Rangers were going to go and try and sign him in the summer. I generally was. Obviously, it didn't turn out, but I think it would be a good signing for Aberdeen.
He said he's always wanted to play for Aberdeen.
Aye.
Remember he said
What a shout that was.
that was unreal. You're only on loan, man.
There's some classic cases then though. Boys brought up 6,000 miles away, but they supported Rangers and Celtic when they were boys.
Mate, bizarre. See, with Defoe, was he brilliant?
Did he?
No, fuck, I mean,
Was he brilliant?
See in training that? What was he like?
Unbelievable.
Was he?
Aye. Best finisher I've ever played with, hands down.
Did he ever speak to Morelos and all that?
Aye.
Did he?
All the time.
What, did he tight?
Aye, all the time.
Will he take him out with a bag of boys?
No, but did he ever?
No, but he did. He would always take him
away.
out. They're finishing after it would always be they two and your favourite Michael Beale just doing a bit of finishing. But aye.
Has Beale got a curling tour? Can he?
No, he's technically decent.
Has he?
Aye.
Got a bit?
Is he?
That coaching in Brazil, wasn't it?
You see some coaches, mate, and they're telling you this and telling you that.
Horrible.
So fuck you telling me what did they?
I know what kills me is fat fitness coaches. How can you be an overweight fitness coach?
Crazy, man. Crazy. 4 wins away for the title, Paul. You dreading it?
Aye.
Simon, are you going to putting shutters on the windies and that?
Oh, fuck, Simon, I'm going to try to get a flight out of here.
To where? Amsterdam.
Only one place.
That could lead me to that again. Simon, I don't know.
See, with my boy acting like Craig, my youngest, if I just put him on a flight to Amsterdam and come back different.
I can bet a man.
I might do that.
It deserves that. It deserves that. You need to get that Craig out his soul. No, Simon, listen. Listen, the question after that is the one I'm really interested in.
Alright, well, we'll ask Kev this then. Kev, do you think it'll come down to the Celtic game?
It possibly will, aye.
Celtic will not want that.
Celtic will not want that, but me personally, I'd be thinking, right, we've lost the league. Let's give ourselves some bit of pride
And stop them doing it
at Celtic Park. That's how I would look at it. But I think by the time it gets to that point, I think Rangers, and Andy probably agree with me, and most Rangers fans probably need to pick themselves up a wee bit.
Yeah.
Because
I think
they're not playing great, but ultimately
Don't you pick yourself up, you'll break your arms.
No, I know. But they're playing great, but they're getting results, and that's all that matters. And I think, like, this is, to win a league's tough. Like in any division across any league across the world, it's tough. And Rangers are just grinding it right out to, like, fair play to them. Like Saturday's game against Kilmarnock wasn't great on the eye. It was tough, but a one bit of magic's got them the 3 points. And I think by the time it comes to the Celtic game, the form will get the wind because it's an old firm. And I genuinely think that Celtic will be in a better frame of mind to give Rangers more of a game like they did at Ibrox the last time. But you just don't know what happens. But I think between now and then, looking at the fixtures, I have looked at the fixtures actually, I think both teams will win their next 3 games quite comfortably.
Okay, but I know we're getting to that, but I think Europa League will help Rangers. Because I agree,
I
feel
like they're needing something to get them going again. It's as if right, we've had this period of we're now clear. We know, like, the players aren't going to say it, but in their heads they know it. The league's won. And they're just ticking over to that point and somebody says, right, clap hands, well done guys, superb. But the Europa League, I think, is this weekend, Thursday?
Aye, Thursday.
That'll probably get their season going again, because if they turn up against Antwerp like the day against Motherwell the week before and Hamilton and what do you call them at the weekend there, Kilmarnock. Antwerp will probably give them more of a game than they two will, and they might struggle, but I think this could be the one that gets them going again. And because like,
a big difference as well though is that Morelos will be back for that.
Of course it will, Simon, and like, it'd be good. It's good for Scottish football if Rangers can go on and beat Antwerp and get into, what would that take them to, the quarterfinals of Europa? And then if the league's wrapped up by the time the next round comes round, it's a free hit at it.
Walter Smith put a picture on Instagram and he didn't finger an Antwerp top.
Oh, was he? But I've heard he's like that though.
Well, he can go.
Oh, I've heard he's
maybe mental.
What do you think he'll be going over it? It's going to help.
Maybe not because of COVID, but back in the day, he did maybe a couple of days earlier.
What was that you were saying? What was that you were saying before we start the show? Is Gerrard leaving in summer?
Brilliant, Paul. Right, here's the question you've been waiting for. The club are investigating a reported COVID breach among their players. This is the last thing they need, isn't it?
Absolutely, Simon. When you make a mistake,
They deserve to be punished.
Okay, the first time, that's fine. Everybody learns from mistakes. They didn't learn from mistakes. They should be deducted 19 points.
We didn't know who it was, but it's the last thing.
We still the two behind, Paul.
That's it.
Aye. Not in a season where they've been almost pretty faultless on off the pitch. It's the last thing they need, but I've got to say, listen, we don't know if it's true yet. That's what I will say. But obviously, with the Rangers coming out with a statement, it's if it probably is true. But what you saying? I was there.
It was your dad that got them up and then grassed them.
What I will say is the players in question, if they've done it, I don't know how you can be that daft after seeing what the manager did with the last two. Because once the last two boys were obviously caught out with a COVID breach, they'd not kicked the ball for Rangers again. They're not even at the club. So if it's true and the boys that when they're investigated it's true, obviously you've got to worry for their future because Gerrard was pretty strict on the last two boys that had COVID breaches.
The Rangers are on the verge of stopping 10 in a row and winning their first league title in whatever many years, and you've got two players deciding to go out and have a wee jolly up in a party that could jeopardise, because that Nicola Sturgeon, the first minister, said that
red card,
like one more, and like who knows what somebody could have done. It's just that it probably won't happen, and Rangers will deal with it. But imagine being the two players and Steven Gerrard has you in the office that Monday morning.
I've never heard that.
They must be shit.
Oh, remember that driving in the Monday night you're going to get
the gaffer phones you on a Sunday and they say that you come into my office tomorrow and go to the change room, just come straight to my office, like, oh fuck.
Do you know what's worse though?
And he's standing with a thumb.
Do you know what's worse? Do you know what's worse though? If it's like the Saturday and they say, come see me Monday.
So the Sunday mate, you're fucking like that.
Sweating for 2 days. Oh, that's worse.
Mate, the story we used brilliant with the one in America, the pizza.
The pizza.
Mate, that's amazing. Have you told that? You've told that, but
I told it all the time. That was the longest day of my life for me.
Did you need to go down and see Lennon and Thompson and say sorry?
Went in his room first and said, "Can I speak to you?" And he went, "Fuck off, I'll speak to you later." And then the meeting
I saw, I've had a couple of them and all.
But everyone was just looking at us as if we were like,
You're fucked.
When I was
people
young-
with heavy, like, the time wind jump, like every 2 minutes, like, mate, what, you must be fucking shit.
the only good thing is me and we girls were the same. If you're on your own, then that's horrible.
When I was young at Sunderland, we used to get your 7-8 weeks as a YT. So it was on the Sunday and the Monday. Well, I was supposed to be back on the Tuesday. I got a phone call on the Monday. "Hello, Kevin, it's Lisa from the office. The gaffer's just wondering why you're not in training today." I was like, "No, but we're supposed to be back tomorrow." She says, "No, you're supposed to be in the day." I was like, "Oh, fuck."
That's the worst.
So George McCartney, who lived in Belfast at the time, he was like coming over on the boat and driving over because he had the car. I swear to God, see the conversation that me and him had in the car for 4 hours, didn't say a fucking word. The two of us were fucking shaking like Slaney's arm, right? And fucking on the Monday morning, we didn't even go to see our youth team manager. It was straight to Peter Reid's office, and we stood outside his office for like 20 minutes. The two of us just still not even speaking. And then 20 minutes later, the gaffer was like, "Right, come in. So you two, you fucking..." And he went through us. I swear to God, man, I was fucking shaking inside. I actually thought
Peter Reid's quite scary, isn't it?
I was
Was
going
he
to
Irish,
hear, I thought I was going to hear a breakdown. I actually thought I was going to hear a breakdown. And he says, "I'm going to give you a written warning and a verbal warning. And see, at this club, you only get two. If you get two of one, so if you get two verbals or two writtens, that was you out the club." So that was us both sitting on one. I swear to God, I was...
The Canio was the scariest, mate.
Yeah? He was the scariest?
He was the scariest, the Canio, mate.
Was he?
Oh my God.
Oh no, Peter Reid put the fear of death into me.
He used to always do this thing where he would come right up to your face and start fucking smashing his head with his fingers, mate. He must have like metal fingers.
Did you feel it laughing or were you actually scared?
Mate, that was the thing though, Sonny. He sometimes wanted to start laughing, because the things that he would say and do, but he was so scary, man. So
That's
scary.
a classic Italian, like...
But he fucking smashes it. Was that not one of you, man?
Did they
He
try
wouldn't
catch
even
you if you were out a night out?
Aye, he caught me all the time. Mate, we used to be out and you'd look out and he would be looking in the pub and you'd be hiding behind Unbelievable.
But he never drank of that,
He liked the red wine. And,
Oh, did he?
But he would take us out as well for pizza and beers and red wine. He was fine with that, but see if you went out on a Saturday night, man, the poison, he fucking hated it.
What if you were playing on the
drank the
Tuesday or
poison.
something?
Anytime. We were in every day, mate. We were in 7 days a week.
Do you like that?
Nah. You kidding? Mate, we once counted it 63 days in a row we were in. 63 days in a row. Obviously you played
That's my
Tuesday,
dream,
Saturday
mate.
down there, so...
That is my dream.
What,
being in all
63?
the
I
day?
hated days off.
Did you?
I didn't, mate, do you know what's weird, right? And you're going to hate me for this. I was actually the ultimate pro. That's mental.
Oh, I sure you were, aye.
No, mate, but when I left, I fucked. But see, when I was there, mate, I used to go in, say, at 8, and I never actually stayed in the gym or anything training, but I used to go in at 8 and leave training at 5. But I was just in talking to everybody. I think I've talked that.
Yeah, just like being in a bit of
That's what an ultimate pro does, though, innit? They stay in it later just to fuck about and talk to kids.
I never,
Fucking idiot.
Playing pool and shit like that.
I never ever trained harder.
But no, see, sorry, Si, but see, obviously being an ultimate pro and that, see if a manager came to you and says, like, "Listen, you, like, I'll see you Monday," what would you do?
No turn up.
Aye, just...
Nah.
Why did they do that and not just tell you they're in?
To get the fear into you, innit?
Aye.
But see, when you were young and you were like, everyone was talking about you, what was that like?
That's confusing.
No, but seriously though, because it must have been hard.
Mate, it's actually weird. I actually did deal with the first team manager when I was 12.
You know?
Did you?
Aye, first team manager used to phone when I was 12-year-old.
What, to get you a sign?
Mate, I'm actually just saying things now to get you out of this fucking rubbish. Here, Simon, see, just own the and I don't want to go on about it anymore, the Rangers thing. I've never seen a team only 2 players go. There you go.
Oh, you think there was more?
I've never seen 2 players just go.
I couldn't get a hold of him Saturday night either. They were all that big house, weren't they?
Here, who do you think Gerard will go to then?
Who do you think will go to?
He's some man. Antwerp, Kev, can you get someone?
Aye,
Yeah.
I think they can. I think when we've doubted Rangers in Europe going away from home, they're better away from home for some reason. They seem to go out and get results. I think they can go over there. A draw would be amazing, a goal scoring draw would be amazing comeback, but I think they could go over there and win it. There's no reason why they couldn't go over there and put in a big performance. Morelos back, will he go straight back at the team? I think he probably will.
God, didn't he?
Definitely.
Aye. No, I think they could. I don't know how Antwerp's doing this in the league, but don't really fucking care. I just think Rangers could go over there, and I think I'd love to see Rangers go over there and get a result, because I just think it'd be good for them, good for Scottish football. There's no reason why they can't get through quarter-finals, potentially give themselves a good look at the draw and hopefully progress on.
What are Antwerp? Belgium?
Belgium.
We Sean will know about
We
it.
sure everything about them. Hopefully speak to him, man.
Kyle Lafferty signed for Kelly. We'll start with Andy. Did you play with Andy, huh?
Aye.
Rocket in it.
Oh my god, fucking crackpot. Class though, mate. Class. I say that like he's similar to Jason Cummins, where like he gets a bad rep, like because he is a character and he is full of carry on, but I've never seen him no try and train. I've never seen him no work hard, and any time he played, he always worked hard and gave his all. I think it's a good signing for Kumar.
They need somebody like him, don't they?
Aye.
Is he a good finisher, Kyle Lafferty?
He is a good finisher, aye. I wouldn't say he's unbelievable. I wouldn't fancy him if he had 10 shots to score 9 of them, but he's a handful. He is a handful, and I think he'll do well. And mate, we're talking about Aberdeen struggling to score goals. Kelly's struggling to score goals as much as anyone in the league, so I think it will be a good signing.
Good signing for your old club, Kev. You go along with that?
I would agree. Because I think he's for me, they come out, they look a bit fucking flat. I think maybe like a character, somebody to come in there and G them up a bit, I think might help. The last kite to come in around about this time, fucking into Kamalik, sorted them out a few years ago, so hopefully this kite will do the same.
Brilliant,
I like
it.
No, I was just thinking there when I got this topic in last night. I played against Kyle Lafferty like in 2003-04 when he played for Burnley. And he's fucking still playing. Is he like, does he age? Is he fucking
34 or something?
I don't know.
34, I think.
Where was it he went last year? Norway, was it?
Italy he went to, didn't he?
Was it Italy?
Mate, he played with Dybala.
He went played with Dybala?
He played
Mate,
with Dybala.
Who was that again? Palermo?
Palermo.
He got player of the year over Dybala.
No, he
Player of the
didn't.
year. I swear to God.
They're player of the year, aye.
Here does he look clever, Andy, look really bright and that.
Aye. Very bright.
You like him, Slinny?
No. No, I don't know. No caring about him.
Because Kelly have got Kabamba, but he's Firmino. I think he's a Scottish Firmino, and he hates
No, I thought he was
I think he's
unbelievable.
decent.
No, in general play, I think he's good, decent, but
I thought he was going to be unbelievable, that guy. Remember v Celtic, absolutely
First game?
ragdolled him, aye.
Uh-huh.
And just, I don't know,
Started well,
I don't think I've
though,
seen him since. I honestly don't think I've seen him play since.
he's played the last couple under Big Tam, right?
Has he? Mm-hmm. Tommy Wright, a Rangers man?
Who do you think is Kelly's best player?
Finlay.
Good
No,
young- good
he's
young
not
player,
playing though.
Got your hearts.
No, he's 3 Kelly players. Except for Finland, Kabamba and Lafferty. We spoke about.
The boy Conor McGregor in the midfield's no bad. What do you call him?
Power.
Power. He's spitting double Conor McGregor.
Fake
Fucking
hard
run.
man.
Oh, fake hard one.
Fake man.
3 Kelly players, Slay. 3 your favourites.
Fulton. Remember him?
Stevie Fulton.
Remember him? Stevie Fulton.
Boydie.
What a strike force that is, you too?
Fulton.
2 boulders.
Fulton was a midfielder.
Was he? Start for tap.
Him and Rocky in the midfield.
Mate, I don't see.
You actually no name for Kelly players?
Nah. Mate, see the thing is, but right, and this isn't. I've been quite disrespectful towards Scottish football because I don't watch a lot of it, right? But what I'm needing for the Scottish game is, and I'm not talking about being a clown. Don't be pulling your pants down on the pitch. I'm not talking about that side. I need characters to come out, and that doesn't mean, as I said, pants down and doing mad things on the pitch. I need to see a bit of belief when you're on the pitch.
Go and show us something.
It shows something. So when I grew up, guys like the man that shouldn't be named, he played with Motherwell, Rat Tail.
Faddy.
Yeah. Guys like that, at Hearts, Hartley, Presley, like, we're hopeless the two of them put together, but they were big names.
Yeah.
Big, you didn't want to go there. Whatever, and I need them to believe. You know what I mean? This.
Well, what about like Porteous at Hibs? He's a bit like that.
Nah, he's no Simon. He's no like that, and that's why I don't know enough of these guys.
Right.
Even when you need to come out a wee bit and gaze more. I think. I know.
Express yourself a bit more.
Do you disagree with me that the standard of Scottish football's got better?
I think so, mate. Aye.
You disagree?
And the reason I say that is, I don't think now you fear going away to places.
Like the Hibs used to like Fletch and
Brown and Gary O'Connor and all that, and then you look at Hearts, what I named, Tynecastle, Pittodrie, Dundee United,
Motherwell, Craigan.
Motherwell's horrible to go to. They places are horrible to go to. Craigan actually, we were waiting for the team bus, weren't he? There was a team bus coming in.
Would he?
Aye, you'd wait for them to come in. But
Anyway,
anyway,
so you're getting it? You're mugging it?
aye.
Would he, right?
Aye, Simon. But what I'm saying is, you feared going to these places. Now, I don't know if you could name me a team in the SPL that.
I agree with you in terms of the players, but I think the coaches are better. Managers, I think they've got more of a game plan going to to places.
But do you? Could
I
you?
know what you're saying, though, but
Andy, would you
in terms
think?
of individuals.
Going to, do you think now you go? That's a place they feared going to.
I feel, Stanley, that see some of the better teams in the Championship, the better players. I think you could swap them in and out of some of the Premier League teams, and you wouldn't really know it was too much of a difference.
Mm-hmm. I think what you're saying though is that I think a lot of that is down to no fans though. You actually see that you've not even just football. You see a sport across the board now that home records aren't really count for anything now. So I think maybe there's no fear factor going to places without the fans, but I personally think the standard has actually got better. I've watched umpteen games this year, whether it's Rangers, Celtic, who they're playing, or whatever teams, and I do feel as if the standard's better. Like Sai just said, I feel as if teams have got more identity. You know how these teams want to play, how they set up. There used to be a lot of times I used to say that you'd watch who was playing. You'd watch Motherwell against Accies, right? And then you'd know you're playing Accies the next week. So you'd watch Accies and say, right, this is how they go play. And then they play Rangers and Celtic, that's not how they play. I actually feel they're doing it now. I actually feel they're taking how they play into these games. Hamilton, they did the exact same against Rangers last week. So that's why I do think it's
like
better.
You would say, like a Jim Jeffries team plays like this, or a Yogi Hughes' team plays like this, but they actually don't play like that because they change their systems every week to suit the team that they're to play against the team they're playing. So you're right, probably saying in terms of the managers, they got a wee bit more about them.
Yeah.
And that's probably maybe the quality in terms of the individuals, maybe a wee bit different, but in terms of managers setting the teams up to play against different formation systems week in, week out, that's probably changed. Whereas when I played with Hearts, we were just a fucking 4-3-3 every week regardless.
Go and play,
if I wasn't playing,
it wasn't they do this or we do that, we'll do this to
if we do this, this is what happens.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. But again, who are we to talk about Scottish football? Because if I asked you to name six players out of Motherwell, or asked you to name 6 players out of Sunderland,
I could name them.
Could you? I fucking
No,
could
listen,
name.
20?
I hope you don't think I'm trying to disrespect Scottish football. No way.
You can do whatever you like, Paul.
No, not at all. Listen, I've got massive
Huge respect.
Huge respect for it, and there's no criticism whatsoever. I'm just saying, I know that it's in everybody. I know you've got something inside you that's burning. You need to release that, and I'm saying to the players out there, go and do it.
Do you know what I want? When's the last time, right, you seen a player doing a step over in Scotland?
Probably
man?
every week.
Do you?
Aye. Ryan Kent does about 65.
No, I'm saying outside of these sort of Celtic Rangers players. I want to see more guys express themselves, I know what you mean. Like even Livingston, when we were younger, mate, Snoddy, Dorns, they would be trying stuff, and that's why they got their moves. Do you know what I mean? I want to see more guys express themselves.
I don't know. The only thing what I'm saying, there's individuals that you don't get the individuals now, but whether I don't know if the money back them is much more. I don't know. If Hearts and Aberdeen had much more money they have now, so they could maybe.
But it's maybe because these teams are much more tactical now. It takes away that
Do you think they are though?
Tactical teams, yeah, I think.
Definitely.
So.
I think so. A lot of tactically do.
Guys like Jim Goodwin and that, I think, are good tactically. Callum Davidson, good tactically. Mickey, you're a fan.
Right. No, good on them. Feel a bit all over the place because of that conversation we had there.
You feel bad?
Take people turn on me.
Just take it back.
No. I have to stick by myself, what I believe in.
He's a wee song. He looks like a boy band actually, doesn't he? End-ups or something.
It's like Westlife when
Westlife, and I swear it all over again, and I never want to see.
You got my fucking money.
Why do you always go to this acting fucking thing?
Yeah,
My fucking money, boy.
He's practicing for Jack Grimshaw, isn't he? Is that his name?
Hey, mate, do you know what?
Fincham.
He's trying to look like Jack Fincham.
No chance.
That's how he dresses with the cap, with the shirt and the isn't he?
So
Can't believe
we've
it.
got to the bottom,
We've got to the bottom of
Aye.
it. She's Fincham for
You were
Fincham.
different today.
Dormo.
You were.
He's done tough as all boots.
He's trying to like Jack Finch and he's got it wrong, man. Jack Finch's got big night white teeth.
Mate, just forget about all of them, mate. You're better than them.
Thanks,
Aye, you're bigger than that.
He's another wee bit of that
Stevie.
accent. I do enjoy that.
You got my fucking money, boy. You know what I'm going to fucking do to you, boy.
Needs money and a shite.
Needs money and a shite.
Sorry, guys. Literally.
Is he saying he shows that?
Remember that? Yeah, I say to me, Jack, for the game, I'm naughty. Mate, enter to terrorise me, I'm naughty. Rubbish.
Oh, amazing. Right.
I'm on my way to misery, happiness again. Yeah, I'm on my way.
Happiness.
Mate, I can't wait mate on the boogie bus going down to London all singing that. Yes!
Is that a climber, is that?
Aye, brilliant boys.
Good.
Can't wait for the Euros, you?
Looking forward to it.
The boogie bus going to be unbelievable, mate. Take it out Wembley.
Oh, what are you going to do with people doing that?
Mate, Scotland will beat England 100%.
Is that your prediction?
Aye, 100%.
Due to what?
Just that belief.
That passion.
Scottish blue blood.
You've just said that Scotland. You've just said Scotland are fucking hopeless, but now you're saying we're going to beat England.
National team, innit?
Alright, okay.
None of them.
Who's your team will be?
Nicky Devlin right back.
Should AstroTurf Wembley, shouldn't they?
Aye.
And just play Livy. Play the Livy team, get a draw.
They should bring Martindale in, shouldn't they?
I'd love Martindale to go down, mate.
I was just in that Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate, shaky want to start a game, mate.
That'd be unreal, man. Do you hear his interview after the game?
Sorry.
Mate, he's so... We're coming on to that in a minute. But he's brilliant, isn't he?
Shanklin was just decent at the weekend.
He just talked to me, Shanklin, didn't he?
Shanklin was decent, but he fucking terrorised us. That was basically the difference. Just decent. He was only decent, right, but he terrorised Livy.
Brilliant. Right, we're going to talk about Motherwell Accies first. Accies, what a team. Did you expect that? Well done, Accies.
What did we expect it? Of course we did.
Did you expect it?
Yeah,
I
Accies,
took
mate.
Motherwell, eh?
It's that time of year.
I love Accies now. That's my team.
That time.
Is that your new team?
Hate Ross County, I love Accies now. Chippers the
No, I
man.
don't know about that. Do you?
Chippers the man. Chippers been through frickin' Finway.
Chipper's going to relegate his big mate Yogi.
Jank. But mate, Kelly could be in there.
Aye,
Telling
definitely.
you.
Kamalik, aye. But mate, did you watch Aki's? How many fucking crosses did Aki's put into the box?
Mate, the standard of goals.
Mate, they had
Some
one of
very
the
good
goals
goals.
they crossed in, and they had 5 players in the box to
Mixed
one
man.
of 3 defenders or something.
Fullback, yeah.
It was
The
unbelievable.
boy, Moyle's goal. What a finish, man.
Aye.
Great finish.
Chris.
See the big boy up front, what's this? The striker, what's his name?
Chris Miles.
The one that got the goal that looked like a good goal, but once you slowed down,
It's a tackle.
It's a good
It
move.
was a Firmino goal, wasn't it? It was a
See, if the boy
tackle.
hadn't
It's a good
tackled,
move, though,
where
wasn't
it?
was
It was a good
his- if the boy hadn't tackled, where was his shot going?
God knows.
What was he even swinging that far away for?
Only the
Need to
devil
give
knows.
Chipper credit, mate. He's found that 3-5-2
What a
formation. It's
legend.
working a treat. Anderson and knocking port for
Mate,
me.
the young
Actually,
boy
I've-
Callahan was brilliant.
He's good again, wasn't he?
Mate, I've heard that Chipper's an unbelievable coach.
I've no doubt, mate. He worked under Brian Clough and all, didn't he?
Did he? Aye.
The Forest.
Aye, mate, good on him. And I seen him at the game yesterday, scouting and all. Did you see him?
See the jacket he had on?
Aye, hiding, wasn't he? Disguised, Chipper in disguise. No, listen, I'm really happy with him. He's been brilliant.
What's your jacket?
Well, I put my Jacob friend in.
Yeah, but here's one thing I want you to say. Well, can Callahan, the young boy, break into the Scotland squad?
Aye. How proud must Hamilton be they brought him through the system? Do you know what I mean?
Another one through the system.
Another boy, and my God, another goal.
Does he look that young though?
He's one of the boys, isn't he? He's all grew up looking older than what he is. So, good on him.
Wee Bruce Anderson, Kev.
Aye.
Never done. Every time I've seen him play at Aberdeen, he played up front of me on his own, but he looks very handy in it too.
I think that I think the fact is just like the manager's probably gave him a wee bit of confidence, saying you're playing every week, you go and get the goals, and I think he's just went and like totally adapted to it and fair play to him, because when you leave a club like Aberdeen and you go to, like, no saying Hamilton that is a drop, but it is in terms of the two clubs and things, but he's just went there, and if he keeps continuing that, he'll work his way back up the way, you know what I mean? And I think it's just credit to him, because some people can leave Aberdeen and take the hump with things like, oh, my way to Hamilton Accies, and that's just, but no, fair play to him, he started scoring goals.
It's mental though how they do it every year.
I know, it's so
Aye,
crazy, isn't it?
What is it, don't they?
Fair play to him, man, because it's tough being down there. And
Can I
it
ask
doesn't
you-
bother him, doesn't
No,
it?
that's why they thrive at that, mate. That's why they do. That's why they do it. They
bastards,
just
aren't
wind
they?
everybody up.
They're so sick.
11 sickles at that pitch. Here, do you think that...
Sorry.
No, on you go, Simon.
No, then you go, sorry.
Do you think, right, and it might sound a stupid question, and I know my answer, would you rather finish in a relegation battle or finish mid-table? I would rather a relegation battle as a player. It'd be so exciting each game. That might be wrong.
Table for me, mate.
No.
Would you? Aye, definitely.
See, just on Hamlin, while we're at it, I forgot we talked about hardest players. Darian McKinnon would be in there.
Aye.
Mate, I used
He's
to...
up right up there.
He's not.
I used to say, he used to take my dinner money. No, he would bully me for 90 minutes and take my dinner money off his
Aye.
after the game, mate.
Did he not play?
Scary, man.
Did he not play junior football till like dead quite late as well?
Yeah.
I love junior football, mate. How good's it?
Oh, me and my dad used to go to Middle Juniors every week, see wee Dingy play up
It's a
front.
brilliant watch, man.
See who
Never
played?
seen a
We
junior
dingy.
game ever.
Who's that?
It was a wee striker up front, he pure nippy, mate, brilliant.
You always had that one playing the juniors that was brilliant. We used to go to Loch United when I was younger as well.
We used to go to the Bens. Well, I used to go to the Bens with my granda quite a lot.
What's the Bens?
Benburn?
Benburn.
That's beside
Benburn.
us, that.
Aye. But he used to, that's who he used to support the Bends, so we should go quite a lot.
Did the Smith flags on the side and that? Nah, is that?
Aye. But you hear every shout, didn't you? Like every shout from a fan, you hear it.
Social club after it.
Tremendous.
I loved it. Juniors is a proper football,
Do you
innit?
get juniors in Sudan now?
I've never seen a junior game in my life.
Have you not?
Have you not?
Oh, you're missing
Never
it,
been to a junior game?
There's no junior teams in
Brilliant.
Stranraer. There wasn't any junior, so the nearest junior team would be like possibly Auchinleck Halibut. Would that be right?
Aye, they're massive, isn't
See,
they?
a
All the
lot,
Ayrshire
see a
clubs
lot
are
of the junior
massive.
teams will be every bit as good as some
100%.
second
Third
teams.
division, second round teams, aye. Come on, all,
disagree.
get a junior team.
I
But
don't know.
Mate,
I've not seen enough, but...
Some good players in there.
aye, some very
No, I don't
decent
doubt
players.
that, but...
And they're tough, isn't they? They're tough, aren't they?
Tough little boots. I've never seen a jacket in a face match.
By the way,
Old leather foot. I'm kidding, mate. You're out of style icon now, aren't you?
aye, yeah.
it's the shoes. I don't want you to show the fans the shoes.
Wait till you see my outfit next week. West Ham, that's what I'm going to say.
Listen, but the thing is, I know you've had this media pressure for
Look how good he looks right
years.
now.
For years. I just hope you handle it. You keep handling it well. Do you know what I mean?
Would you
Feels
get
if you're-
Why don't you dress the big man one week as well?
He's a ticking time bomb, isn't he?
What do you think is going through his head right now if you had
I don't know.
read his
I
head?
could never guess.
He's thinking, how's he getting back to his flat? Because I'm not giving him a lift.
Do you walk about Anderson like that?
Aye, all the time. Be yourself, Simon, in this life.
That's what I say to boys, express yourself, mate.
Express
Look where it
yourself.
gets you.
Exactly.
To the top, innit?
Aye, brilliant.
Dundee United, Mickey Mellon turned it around, great performance. 3-0 at home to Livy, Shanklin done fine.
What a player.
Do you know what they were struggling for? Was it 8 games without a win and back to
Even
back
his
wins?
general
now?
playing that, mate, I think he's good.
I thought, was it Harks? Harks looked good.
When he came on,
Aye,
yeah.
great ball for the
Fucking
first
left
goal.
back, American boy.
No, that's
Left back's Robson.
left. I thought that was his boy Appery. Did he not play left back?
Harks?
No, he's a Hark's a centre midfielder.
Harks is
American.
centre mid. The one
Perry
that
played-
He played,
up.
the ball from the left.
Aye,
That made
aye,
me
aye,
maybe
aye.
think he was left. Aye, great ball.
But Shanklin started to come into form, which, to be honest, I'm a big fan of him, but I think he needs it because I think the Scotland squad's going to be...
Yeah.
Because obviously they need to cut 3 players for the last squad, didn't they? And I think, you look at the last squad, I think they had 6 strikers.
Yeah.
So you're looking at there's going to be at least 1 striker going to get cut, and I think with his form at the start of the season compared to now, because he's back to his goal scoring best. He scored goals everywhere he's went.
Yeah. I think he's touching that.
Aye, I like him as well.
But fair play to Mickey Mellon, he was playing Nicky Clark and Mark McNulty and Shanklin, it didn't work. He's dropped it to and Shanklin's getting the best out of Shanklin.
Focal point, isn't he?
That's it, vocal point. I need to ask you about Mickey Mellon. He wears, I always wonder this about managers, you having this, black trackies, black trainers and white socks.
Is he?
That's
No, I
a-
didn't notice. I didn't
That's a
notice.
no-no, innit?
No, it's a big no-no.
That's a no-no, innit? It's
Aye.
black socks, innit?
Aye, got to be.
So Mickey,
Aye, it's a fashion. My
I see white socks with jeans and off, for me it's a no-no.
I would never do that either.
Nah,
eh?
big no-no.
Even with white trainers, I would never wear white
Nah.
socks with jeans.
Nah.
Would you know?
No.
With white trainers? Aye, with white trainers I would.
No
What socks would you wear then? With white trainers?
Like navy socks with
same
navy
colour
jeans
as
or
jeans.
denim jeans, aye.
I'm the same.
Jeez,
eh?
aye.
But see, to be honest, you're the style icon, so maybe we should
He's got
start.
black socks on, good man, Kev.
Aye, my boy wears he would wear grey trackies, white socks, and black trainers.
No.
And I'm like, Max, your fucking cat's died, son. What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
I've always thought that was an English thing, the white socks thing, no?
Aye, maybe it is. He's English.
Keeping into the Scottish game. For Fincham.
Aye.
I don't like that size.
Finchy. Oh, Finchy.
Oh, Finchy, is that office? Will Livingston be worried with this form going into the cup final? Nah.
Don't know. Nah. Mate, let's be honest, right? I think everyone's like, see if Livy lost 2 games in a row at the start of the season, you'd think, they'll bounce back. And that. The only reason we're saying that is because they went 14 games or whatever it was unbeaten, so the run that we're on was unbelievable, and they lost a couple of games, but I think they'll be alright. I think it's going to be a good cup final. I'm actually looking forward to it,
So, man.
because it's hard to predict. I think right now people are going to fancy St Johnson,
I
but you can't
honestly
count out
don't
Livy.
see anything other than a St Johnson man.
Oh, really?
Honestly, I
Do you think they've got a
can't-
better team, Ken?
I just think St Johnson, Callum Davidson. I genuinely think they're decent.
Yeah, they're decent, St Johnson.
I think they're decent, and I just think with Livy, it's been a momentum thing, and then the change of the manager, and he's got a wee kick out of them, and then now they've only lost 2 games. What's your last 16 games? 14 wins, 2 losses.
14 unbeaten it was.
Tell your team in Glasgow that would love that record. Do you know what I mean? So
It's a bit of a difficult attack.
What was how many games to the final?
I don't know, mate, who's your player of the week?
No, but I need to ask. Tell me the boy for Livy's not missing the final because that red card. He's not, is he?
I don't know how it works.
I wouldn't.
Oh, they 2 red cards are shocking. I mean, dearie me. How many red cards?
See, even after the foul, when he was walking back to the box, did you see his face?
Yeah,
When he was touching the red?
I couldn't believe when he was going to his top pocket though, could you?
No, it's
I thought he was going to do that to
I
him.
said,
Right, player of the week, we're going to do this now. Player of the week every week.
player of the week.
Who's your player of the week in SPL? Willie Gibson. Okay, who's yours?
Callahan.
Cam Callahan, right?
I'm going to give Callahan as well because he
Surely that's young
scored.
player.
He scored that.
young
he
player.
scored that. He's a good assist. And he scored a penalty and then he had to retake it and scored it a second time. Brilliant.
Okay, Andy, who you going?
Willie
Cavs,
Gibson.
right.
Willie Gibson.
Willie Gibson.
Aye.
And I'm going Shankland. That's us done, lads.
That's Martindale's
Right for the
player of the
English
week, I
body. What?
That was Martindale's player of the week as well.
Davey. Right, brilliant. Well done.